All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Hello and thank you for joining us this afternoon. Welcome to Pitch North 2020. We are here today to celebrate entrepreneurship. Pitch North was created to fill the gap of support for entrepreneurs in our rural communities of Lake, Oceana, and Newaygo counties. And I am so proud to be continuing this for a second year. Due to our current circumstances and the move to a virtual platform, I am so excited to announce that we will be awarding over $9,000 to these awesome finalists today. If we were in person, we would be enjoying a beer or glass of wine together while we watch these talented entrepreneurs pitch their ideas. So I invite you to join me at home with your favorite beverage while we get started. Well, the 5 finalists that we'll present today are already winners, making it to the top of 28 total submissions. I have really exciting news to share. The finalists don't know it yet, but due to the extra funds in the budget for moving to virtual, we are actually able to award every finalist some cash today, ranging from $500 for 5th place up to $4,000 for 1st place. Every one of the finalists is going to walk away with some money. Today would not be possible without our sponsors: Consumers Energy, Fremont Area Community Foundation, Northern Initiatives, Gerber Federal Credit Union, West Shore Community College, River Country Chamber of Commerce, and Shelby State Bank. My name is Julie Burrell, and I support economic development efforts in Newaygo County for The Right Place. The Right Place is a regional nonprofit economic development organization supporting West Michigan. Our goal is to advance the regional economy, and especially in rural communities like Newaygo, Oceana, and Lake. That includes fostering entrepreneurship. I'll be your MC for tonight, and for some additional introductions from my team at The Right Place, we have Jody Nichols, who manages business development in Oceana and Lake counties. She will be moderating our chat tonight and making sure that you stay muted when you're supposed to be. We also have...
I didn't even unmute my own self, so there you go. I know what I'm doing. Okay. Thanks everyone for coming tonight. We're so excited to get started.
We also have Travis Alden, Director of Business Development in the rural counties. He will be wrangling the judges in a separate Zoom meeting after the pitches are complete.
Hey everybody, pleasure to be here, and good luck to our finalists tonight.
And then we also have Jillian Elliott from our events team at The Right Place, who will be our timekeeper tonight.
Hello everybody, good luck finalists.
And then we also have Kathy Jo Vanderlaan, who manages Montcalm County, that is on the line as well. If you want to say hi, KJ.
Hey there, good luck everybody. We're just looking for Montcalm to try to steal some of these ideas, so go get them.
All right, so next up I'd like to introduce our judges. Judges, if you'd like to say hello after I say your name. We have Rich Houdeman, Community Affairs Manager with Consumers Energy and a member of the Newaygo County Economic Development Advisory Committee. You'll have to unmute.
Hi, I'm really sorry. I'm just battling through some technical issues. It's good to be with you all tonight. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks, Rich. We have Marie Elliott, Certified Business Consultant with the Small Business Development Center.
Hi, everyone. Looking forward to hearing the pitches.
Melissa Evans, Commercial Lender with Northern Initiatives.
Hi, everybody. Excited to be here.
We also have Thomas Hawley, who is the Executive Director of College Relations at West Shore Community College and Vice President of SJS Ventures, which owns and operates Jamesport Brewing Company in Ludington.
Thank you. It's very nice to be with you tonight.
We have Scott Rumsey, owner of Ed's Orchard Market, President of the Hesperia Area Chamber of Commerce, and board member of the Oceana County Economic Alliance.
Hey, everybody. Glad to be here.
All right, so our entrepreneurs will have 5 minutes to pitch, followed by 5 minutes for the judges to ask any questions. So in just a few minutes, we are going to get started hearing some amazing ideas from our local entrepreneurs. But just a few notes for housekeeping first. So as we already mentioned, everyone should be muted, so please stay that way until it's time for Q&A. After all of the pitches are complete, we will have a chance for the audience to ask some questions of the entrepreneurs. So if you have a question throughout, please put it in the chat directed to Jody Nichols, and then we will get to it during the Q&A session. If you aren't familiar with Zoom, there should be a menu on the bottom of your screen where you will find your mute and unmute and start and stop video buttons along with the chat. There should be a button on the top right where you can change your view. If you are joining from your phone, you should be able to just swipe left or right to change your view. The gallery view will show you everybody who's joined right at once in little pictures, but during the the pitches, I suggest changing it to speaker view so that way you can see the person speaking. Okay, now let's get to it. Our first entrepreneur, Ashley from Ashley Marie Farm and Bakery, is from Newaygo. All right, Ashley, your time will start when you begin your pitch, and Jillian will say time when your time is up. So we are ready when you are.
Okay, I unmuted myself successfully, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I just start?
Start when you're ready.
Okay. I'm Ashley, creator, messmaker, and baker of Ashley Marie Farm and Bakery, where we're passionate about real bread. Our goal is to create a community brought together by artisan bread and pastries that fosters the local farmers, entrepreneurs, economy, and environment. How we plan to do this is the most exciting part. In the future, we plan to expand Ashley Marie Farm and Bakery with a new oven and more baking equipment so that we can greater serve the Newaygo County area. We currently bake out of a home oven that can only fit 2 loaves of bread and 12 pastries at any given time. That's extremely limiting, and we currently bake at capacity and sell out every single time. With this greater capacity, or with the expansion, we would be able to bake 12 loaves of bread at a time and 36 pastries at a time, meaning that we could serve 6 times as many people as we currently do. With this greater capacity, we will be opening a community-supported bakery, otherwise known as a CSB. We currently only sell at farmers markets and directly from the farm bakery, but we desire to make deeper connections throughout the entire year. So what is a CSB? A CSB is a community created around artisan sourdough bread and pastries that fosters the local farmers, entrepreneurs, environment, and economy. We firmly believe that by making greater connections and serving people, we can make a difference in our local economy. Our standard of organic and local first has only a positive environmental impact, and we will also be working with other local entrepreneurs to collaborate on various projects so that we can help knit the community together. So how exactly does the CSB, the Community Supported Bakery, work? The CSB will run from November through May, and then we'll be selling at farmers markets June through October. We may possibly keep the CSB going all year if we find that there's a need for it, but we really enjoy our farmers market experiences. I love meeting new customers at the markets and sharing our passion with them, and also seeing all the old customers that come to support us, and then my market vendor friends too. I love seeing them. So we're not counting farmers markets out yet. How a CSB works is each month the community has the opportunity to sign up for a share of bread or pastries or combination of those. With their share, they're guaranteed however much is included in that share of bread and pastries delivered to them or picked up at the bakery each Friday. So for example, if you bought a small bread share, you would get 1 loaf of bread every Friday for the 4 weeks they signed up for. Or if you were to sign up for a large combo share, you would get 2 loaves of bread and 8 various pastries for each Friday that you signed up for. The shares are sold 4 weeks at a time, or monthly basically, and you have to renew each month or not. There's no obligation. Shares, like I said, would be available for pickup on Fridays for an allotted time at the bakery, or there's the option to add on delivery if you live within 10 miles of the bakery. I'm not sure if this should have came at the beginning or the end, but a little bit more about us as a business. We are Ashley Marie Farm and Bakery, and behind the scenes is my amazing supportive husband, Rick. He's my last minute helper and amazing father to our 2 little girls. If you ever see him, give him a pat on the back for putting up with me, because without him, I wouldn't have the courage or opportunity to do this. I've been baking with sourdough for 5+ years exclusively. I do not use any commercial yeast for health, economic, and environmental reasons. So all of those lovely breads and pastries that you see have been risen by the wild world around us with just the help of my hands. It's pretty cool. We pride ourselves on quality of ingredients being largely organic and local. All of our breads and pastries have been through a long, slow fermentation so that they are easier to digest and more bioavailable for our bodies, i.e. healthier. Baking and sharing is my passion, and I love to do it. It makes my soul happy and is my creative outlet. I so hope I get to share this with you. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashley. Okay, judges, what questions do we have for Ashley? Go ahead and unmute yourselves and then ask away.
Ashley, hi, I'm sorry. I caught most of that. I got a couple through some tech issues there, but can you talk a little bit about why you feel, what's unique about your business and what your advantage is, why you feel like you'll be successful?
You kind of cut out with that very last part of your question, but I think I got it.
Okay.
My business is unique, especially because I'm exclusively a sourdough baker, which means I do not use any manufactured yeast. I use what is called a sourdough starter culture, and it's made just from flour and water. Everything goes through a long fermentation, including my pastries, so that it's healthier and easier for our body to digest. There is currently a huge trend, and I actually know this because I also have a blog, and I have seen explosive growth this last few months with all of the sourdough information. So there's this huge trend where people are returning to healthier bread. They don't want supermarket white fluffy bread anymore. I mean, that you can do that with sourdough too, but but they want to know where their bread came from, and they want to know the minimal ingredients, the least amount of additives possible, and that's mine. Primarily, my dough is made of water, flour, and salt, with the exception of, flavor add-ins like cheese or anything like that. And then pastries are butter, flour, salt, egg, like everything you would find at home. There's no crazy ingredients, and I use organic American milled flour, so there's no enriched synthetic vitamins or minerals as well. The only ingredients in my flour, because I don't know if a lot of people know this, but flour, if you look at enriched flour, it has a whole list of ingredients, and the only ingredients in my flour that I use is wheat and barley. So that is unique about me. And then as far as the community supported bakery side of it, it's a very unique opportunity to connect with individuals without going brick and mortar quite yet, which we're not opposed to. And I know there's a lot of people have asked me to, but it's a big step, as a lot of you business owners know. And so this is kind of like a stepping stone to connect with the community and create a larger market before committing to the overhead of brick and mortar.
Great.
Hey, Ashley, what exactly would the funds go towards? I know you said expansion and I might have missed it, but what exactly would the money go towards?
That would be the new oven and the baking equipment. I had mentioned that we currently can only fit 2 loaves of bread and 12 pastries in our home oven, which is extremely limiting. So with the new oven and baking equipment, we would be able to put out 6 times as much as we currently do.
And that new oven and baking equipment would be going into the home, since you don't have another space, is that correct?
Yes. However, the oven that we would be getting could transfer to a brick and mortar wherever we go to. It is a very accommodating oven, and they're actually, it's called a Rothko oven, and they're specifically designed for small scale bakers as a stepping stone into like larger baking. And so they are designed to fit in small spaces, but they can go to brick and mortar too, because it's just a simple 220 power. It's not anything fancy. You don't need steam injection or anything for it. And so I actually follow a lot of small bakeries who do have brick and mortar, and they actually just run a couple of these rather than getting a big steam injection oven, because it's easier to install these.
What would you do if you outgrow your current demand?
Well, that's probably where we would turn to brick and mortar, because I can't logistically fit 2 of these ovens in my home. And so we are definitely considering it. It's just getting there, because as we all know, brick and mortar is expensive, and you don't really want to go if you don't know what your market is, I guess. But so we would definitely look into that, and we have thought about, and we're still open to it, considering a shared space with somebody, like a complementary business, to help ease that transition, which we'd definitely be open to. We just are kind of waiting for the right partner to come along and stuff.
Ashley, when you mention we, are you the only employee, or you do all the work, or do you have employees?
Yes, me, and then my husband, Minion. He just helps me on the side. He has his own business, so it is largely me currently. However, with the new expansion, I have considered, like if I could do the CSB with a larger oven and do 6 times as much volume, I have considered hiring somebody because there's enough work that I could. And obviously with that, with being able to bake greater volumes comes greater revenue. So I'd be able to do that. And then obviously if I went brick and mortar in the end of things, that would require a team. So right now, yes, it's just me. But I say we because it's my family.
Sure.
Do you work in the business full time, Ashley?
Was there 2 people speaking at once? Okay, so I heard the one that asked if I work full time. So I heard that question. So whoever else asked, just a second. Yes, I solely do this baking and my blog too, but the blog is not as I don't spend as much time on it. So yes, this is just all that I do.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think we have time for one more question. Melissa, did you have a question?
No, actually, it was the same thing that Marie was asking. So.
Okay, perfect. Any other judges have a final question for Ashley? All right. Well, thank you so much, Ashley. That was great.
Thank you.
All right. So next up, we are going to hear from Paul from the Tiki Hut Farm Market in Lake County. So Paul, go ahead and unmute yourself. Your time will start when you begin your pitch, and Jillian will let you know when your time is up.
Okay.
And when you need me to advance your slide, just go ahead and say next slide, okay?
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Let me start. My name is Paul Avery. I am the owner of the Tiki Hut, which is in Lake County, Michigan. It is a thriving market, but right now we are unable to expand because I can only fit 3 or 4 cars into my driveway. 5 usually is the max. So right now we have people lining up on 10 trying to get in here. It causes some problems on 10 with slowdowns in traffic, and I've actually talked to MDOT, and they said that if I wanted to continue to grow, which I do, I would need to have a business driveway in here. Next. Next. Okay, I started the Tiki Hut in July 2013 with just a little card table. In June, that went so well that in June 2014, we built the Tiki Hut. And it's from scratch, everything from the property. It just have screws and the cost of that. So it went really well. And then the next year, we built a geodesic greenhouse to start a greenhouse business, and that went super well too. So next slide. Okay, so a little bit about us. So Lake County is one of the poorest counties in Michigan. So to be able to help bring fresh food to people, I accept Bridge Card. I have a wonderful program called Double Up Food Bucks. There's Senior Fresh, Project Fresh, WIC. So this helps people bring in fresh produce to people from this community. I also help with youth job experience. We have field trips. Baldwin School has come to visit me a couple seasons ago. We pressed some cider, learned about animals, that sorts of thing. Next, please. Okay, so and that kind of growth kind of leads to some problems. Or sorry, the flower season is actually probably the season that I can see the most growth coming from. The first 3 years, I was actually able to double my sales from each year, so it just kept doubling and doubling. 2020 with COVID-19, things were a little bit different, but I was actually able to match my previous year's sales within 3 weeks, and then we were sold out, and I was unable to get any more. Next slide, please. So with that growth comes growing pains. As you can see in picture number 1, that is my parking lot completely full. That's with everyone parking right. Everyone's doing a great job there. And as you see in picture number 2, and that's what usually happens, we have somebody parking in the driveway right there, and that means everyone coming off US 10 can't get in. So people have to park on 10, and it causes quite a few problems. Okay, we can go to the next slide. And then here's a little bit more about my growing pains. As you can see in picture number 1, we have 2 parking spots that are ideal. And then that chicken right there, that's a chicken. He's holding down that 3rd parking spot, and you have to fight him for that parking spot. So, and then you can see my narrow driveway. It's a residential driveway, not a business driveway, and that's what MDOT wants me to improve, to get a business driveway in here. Next slide, please. So if I win first place, this is what I'm looking at. This is my neighbor to Salvage Yard. He has a nice business driveway there. Could hold lots of traffic. People can get through. I would also like to build a big greenhouse. I've learned over the years that if you build it, people will come. So I've got quite a name for myself with my product with flower season. And so I think if I can keep growing, I can fit more people in. I can keep on growing with that idea of mine. If we go to the next slide, please. If I win second place, we could maybe get a little smaller, a little cheaper greenhouse in here. And there's a couple of things I can do to help improve the parking. But again, that's going to cost a little bit of money with people cutting down trees and moving some land around. Next slide, please. So if I win third place, we can probably do a little bit with some parking. That's my old petting zoo right there, and I think I could knock that down and put in some more parking spots. That's where I want to put my big greenhouse. Next slide, please. So my ultimate goals is I think agritourism is a really hot deal right now, and I think this is Uncle John's cider mill. So if I could, if I could get some more stuff in Lake County with some stuff that they do, we could do like apple cider, donuts, a petting zoo, a better petting zoo, wine and beer tasting. I'm an avid brewer. My mom is a baker, so you could put in a bakery. So agritourism is something that's not in Lake County. It's we do well with tourism, but there's not these big farms that bring in a lot of people. I think I'm one of the only ones in Lake County. I might be the only one, and I think I can really attract a lot of people, be good for business, for the local community, be able to hire people. We can do all kinds of things. I think the sky's the limit. And the next slide, please. And that's it.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
All right, judges, what questions do we have for Paul?
Paul, how many employees do you have, and will you be adding any additional employees?
I'd love to add some more employees. I work too hard. Yeah, right now it's help. I had employees last year through a program, and that was awfully nice. Right now, until I grow more, I don't have like someone say, hey, this is my full-time employee, but that's something that's definitely in the ropes. And I was actually thinking about hiring someone this spring center, but then COVID happened, and everything kind of was messed up. So yeah.
Paul, hey, nice presentation. What can you tell us about your profitability now versus your projected profitability if you were expand to win it? Let's focus on first place, right?
All right. Yeah, I'm only.
Well, what can you tell us about that aspect of it as far as your profits?
I think it would go through the roof. The more I expand, the more people come. And if I can put a real greenhouse in here, a legitimate greenhouse, I think I can get all kinds of people coming. I already got people coming from different counties. I had a lady just drive from here from Grand Haven just to come see my little thing. And so if I think I can get bigger and better, I can just keep getting some more hype, and really the sky's the limit. I feel pretty strongly about that.
Has a community lender come to you at all, or had you sought out a community lender?
Me and not Julie, but Miss Nichols. We are working. Jody, sorry, we're working on that right now. So that's in the pipeline, trying to get some more funds in here. Yep.
Paul, back to your staffing. Do you work in the full time, or are you?
I'm a workaholic, so I do this full time and then I teach full time. I mean, not full time. I teach part time and I do this full time. But this farm market, it's from May till November 1st usually. It ends with pumpkin season generally. And so you're kind of limited to those unless I can figure out something to do in the winter, and I'm not objecting to that. I would like to, but yeah.
Paul, how much property do you have there when you're looking to expand to the extent of, say, Uncle John's?
Right, just 10 acres, but I do have a lot of neighbors who let me grow and use their property for growing vegetables, and but my property right now is just 10 acres.
Now, I noticed on your Facebook page that you try to grow everything yourself that you sell there.
Right.
But there are obviously some things that you don't grow that you will buy to sell at your market.
Yup, exactly. From usually local, the Amish have an auction over in Stanwood, and then some comes from there, and then some comes from some of these local nursery or orchards that have can do fruit a little better than I can, because in Lake County we're a little landlocked. It's better to grow fruit closer to the lake, and so I can get some different berries and different fruit from over there.
All right, any other questions at all for Paul? Okay, all right, thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you, bye-bye.
All right, so next we are going to hear from Amber, who owns Hearth Magic, which is located in Pentler. Okay, Amber, so your time will start when you begin your pitch, and Jillian will let you know if you end up going over your time, and we are ready to start whenever you are.
Thank you. Hello, Pitch North members and supporters. I'm so thrilled to be here and to share with you how Hearth Magic is planning to create a wave of support and innovation in the field of education. As a veteran homeschool mom of 9 years and a business owner since 2013, I have found myself in an exciting place of welcoming in a surge of new clients who desperately need my services and support. Since our start, we have served over 2,500 families, created over 200 homeschool products, and have sent over 10,000 downloads to families in almost every country around the world. In addition, we have provided scholarships for free curriculum to over 50 families who are low income or have children with special needs. Despite all of the amazing growth that we have seen since starting, there is more that we can do. In March, the face of education completely changed as schools were abruptly closed due to the dangers of COVID-19. Overnight, millions of families were faced with the prospect of homeschooling their children without the tools, support, and education to do it confidently. And since March, Hearth Magic has doubled its orders and its support calls. And the overriding message seems to be clear. We will be homeschooling our children this fall, and we need your help. As of June 11th, an ABC News poll found that 45% of parents with school-aged children aren't comfortable sending their kids back to school. With that in mind, how to successfully and joyfully teach kids from home has become a pivotal question in our society. Meeting these needs is exactly what Hearth Magic does every day. From local in-person clients to those around the world, I've seen my workload double. We are the only curriculum provider in Michigan that also offers school mentoring and support. When I get a phone call or an email from a prospective homeschool family, I spring into action and I know exactly how to help each family create a unique plan with the perfect products to support at-home learning. Right now, my workspace is in the corner of my kitchen and it's bursting at the seams. My curriculum is being written and edited on an old computer that our whole family of 5 has to take turns using. And when I print curriculum, our old inkjet kind of does the job. And we're grateful to have these tools, but honestly, they are on their last legs and are sorely overdue for an upgrade. In order to serve more families effectively, this is what I need. Number 1, a space. With another small business owner, I have found the perfect location to serve as my office and an open classroom for homeschool consultations and in-person classes. Our plan is to lease the building and to begin preparations to open at the beginning of August. My portion of the rent will be $300 a month, and our anticipated upfront cost to get the space ready is $1,000. Number 2, printing equipment and supplies. In order to increase our output, as well as present a more professional image, we need a new laser printer and binding machine to create spiral-bound curriculum. Investing in this will double the amount of curriculum we can produce, as well as lower the cost of production. With this upgrade, we anticipate hiring a production assistant immediately to focus on binding, printing, and shipping curriculum. The total of the printer and binding supplies is $1,200. I also want to add that we just got a phone call today from a charter school that is going to be placing a large order for our curriculum. And I see the potential for that growing and increasing our demand for printing as well. Number 3, a new computer. 90% of the work I do is dependent upon having a reliable computer. Being able to upgrade would mean that I would have more flexibility in my work hours, have less setbacks due to computer crashes, and tackle the exciting task of designing a new website with training modules for homeschool parents. The cost of the computer and software is $1,100, and the yearly cost of the website and the e-course platform would be $1,200. Lastly, we are planning an annual homeschool conference to start next summer that will provide local and out-of-state families with access to speakers, workshops, and a vendor space. As I have traveled to other states for this type of experience, it has always been my desire to bring this opportunity back to Michigan. This annual conference will be held in Oceana County and will bring additional business to our local hotels, shops, and restaurants. Our starting cost for this conference will be $800 for promotional materials and to schedule speakers. In closing, I want to express my appreciation for being considered for this amazing opportunity. When you're a small business owner, the road to success can often feel really long and unobtainable. Having Hearth Magic has allowed us to live in Oceana County and to create a home for our family here. We know that with the support of Pitch North, that our business will have the resources that we need to meet the growing needs of today's families with optimism and with increased professionalism. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Amber. Okay, judges, what questions do you have?
Hey, Amber, so your target market used to be the homeschool groups that were out there. And yes, with the closing of the schools that happened with COVID, people were reaching out. With the schools now going to be, knowing that there's going to have to be this distant learning, that combined distant learning, I saw that, or I heard you say that a charter school had reached out to you. Will schools be providing this, or will you see some of that demand going down because the schools now are going to be ready for this as opposed to where they were in March when things closed down?
Yeah, that's a great question. So before COVID, in the past year, Hearth Magic has been able to produce a full-time income for me. So we were starting out pre-COVID in a really good space, and we've been growing about 30% each year. And then with COVID, of course, there was this explosion. So my clientele will be people who continue to homeschool, who maybe don't feel comfortable sending back their kids to school, or are finding that this type of lifestyle really suits them better. In addition, there's kind of a niche type of education that we do, and those are the types of charter schools that would reach out. They're Waldorf education, which is one of the fastest growing educational styles in the United States. And so we got that phone call and that contract yesterday, and our plan is to send out brochures and samples to all the other Waldorf schools in the United States.
So do you design all these programs yourself? Are you a curriculum designer?
I am. Yeah, that's so. Here's one of them right here. One of my my bread and butter products is I create a month-long curriculum based around a beloved story. So I might take something like Charlotte's Web and interweave different grades into that so that you are studying math and science and social studies and language arts, all based around a beautiful classic tale as a family. And those are our best sellers. We have 12 of those, and then as well as hundreds of other smaller items as well.
How long does it take you to design those?
Oh man, a full curriculum like that is about 120 pages, and I typically produce 3 to 4 a year, and then they continue to sell as the years go on. But yeah, those are our best sellers.
So you're printing all of the guides, you're not looking at going online without?
We are totally online as well.
Totally
Yeah.
online. Okay.
Yeah, we sell, most of our sales are digital, but we have such a demand for printed materials that it's hard to keep up with it. And we have to turn people away.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Amber, this is Rich. Nice presentation. It sounds very scalable and it has a lot of potential, your idea. It sounds like you have a lot of connectivity, like affiliation, or you're part of something bigger already. You say we a lot, and I'm just like, what kind of can you help us out with that?
Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't say that I have affiliation. Within the world of homeschooling, there are different styles. And so like the Waldorf education movement, I'm not financially connected to them or get support with them, but you know, just like you would be choosing a charter school for your child, maybe your child is more STEM oriented or more arts oriented. There'll be families who are looking for this style of home learning that will come to us. Yeah, because of what we do. But yeah, it's me. I have an assistant, and then I'm looking for a local production assistant to focus on the printing, binding, and shipping of orders.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Any other questions from judges? All right, thanks, Amber.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are going to go ahead to the next entrepreneur, but audience, I just wanted to remind you, if you have any questions for any of these entrepreneurs, go ahead and put them in the chat to Jody, and we will get to them during the Q&A session in a few minutes. So next up, we have Janet, who is the owner of Up North Gift Company on the northern end of Newaygo County in Bitely. So Janet, go ahead and unmute, and your time will start when you begin your pitch, and Jillian will let you know if you go over, and when you need me to advance your slide, just go ahead and say next slide.
Okay, thank you. In August of 2018, my husband Pat and I transplanted ourselves to Newaygo County. We purchased Up North Gift Company, which was at that time nearly 20 years old already. It's in lovely downtown Bitely in northern Newaygo County. We sold our home of 30 plus years and began a new chapter of our lives in Lake County as our home. So we moved up to Idlewild so that we could be close to the shop. We're only about 18 minutes from home to shop. We fell in love with this area over the years, coming up on weekends, and we just knew that after the kids were out of the nest, we wanted to be up here full time, and this was the way to do it. We're not the type to retire, so we wanted to have something to do. The community of Bitely and the surrounding areas have been very supportive throughout the transition of ownership, and they continue to encourage and bless us and the store. Many of our customers have shopped at Up North Gift Company since its opening in 1999. It's become a true Up North tradition to stop in and see what's new at our shop. Next slide, please. Next slide. There we go. It's easy to keep things new and fresh with over 70 talented local artists and vendors providing beautiful, unique, handcrafted items to fill our shelves, making this store a one-of-a-kind destination shopping experience. Our youngest artist is only 12 years old and the oldest is over 82. Our vendors and artists have found in us a wonderful framework in which to showcase their talents, and we're delighted to offer opportunities for growth to so many local West Michigan artists and crafters within Lake, Newaygo, Muskegon counties, and more. They've become like family to us and to each other, forming a strong creative community. Next slide, please. And speaking of community, we began making and selling cinnamon rolls in addition to selling gifts and other items. We started it in the wintertime, really to try and draw in the local residents. Most of our business really happens in the summertime. It's a seasonal, there's cottagers and people like that come up starting, at the normal time of year, April, May through September, October, and then it sort of falls off in the winter. But there are about 1,500 local residents who really enjoy having homemade goodies and treats. And what we found was that we have people with special dietary needs as well who enjoy gluten-free or keto-friendly. They have diabetes. There's various things, as well as just traditional baked goods that they remember from being children. And so they'll bring in grandma's recipe and we'll try and duplicate that for them. And so there's a little nostalgia there, and many of the folks that are up here are of retirement age and older and don't necessarily cook for themselves as much anymore, so they enjoy coming in. The closest bakery to us is in White Cloud, so it's about 24 miles away, and so it's a little bit prohibitive for them to get to someplace with fresh baked goods. We were on track to surpass our first year, even in January and February, which was pretty surprising. This year we actually had some growth, and then COVID hit, and it could have been very devastating. We are a non-essential business, and the one thing that we had to offer was food, and it was a very small fraction of what we did at that time, but we just really grew it and expanded on it, and the community supported it, and they purposely came in and bought the baked goods to help us survive, and I think because they really liked them, and they've continued, and that has grown and grown, and now the seasonal customers are in for summer, and I am at capacity. I cannot produce any more than what I'm doing. We have over 25 items that we do every week. Muffins, rolls, scones, breads, soda bread, sourdough bread. We do English toffee and fudge, and pretty much anything anybody asks for. Recently, Swedish limpa bread and Finnish pulla bread with cardamom, and so all of these different things. The equipment that we have is having a hard time keeping up. And so next screen, please. We have at home a KitchenAid mixer, just a countertop version, and I cannot get enough dough in there. It clogs up the, the mechanism trying to do a quadruple batch in there. I mainly do my baking on Thursday and Friday afternoon. So Thursday all day from 9 o'clock in the morning until about 2 the next morning, about 17 or 18 hours straight. I bake so that it's fresh for the weekend, because that's our highest volume of need, is the people coming up for the weekend. So I come home early on Friday and Pat watches the shop, and on Friday afternoon I hit it again and I bake again from about 2 o'clock in the afternoon until about 2 o'clock the next morning. And then I get up at 6 the next morning and I fry some donuts before I come in on Saturday. So we're bringing in fresh things, a couple days a week during the weekend. And we are at capacity. I have a small electric oven, and I just told him to buy new elements in case I burn anything out, because we can't have downtime. It was our saving grace during COVID. It was the one thing that we had that created revenue, that kept our lights on and kept the bills paid, so that we were able to open when we were able to reopen and not be way behind. So we were very thankful for that, but we were also able to see the potential for growth in this area.
Time.
Oh, thanks. I ran out of time. I can't believe it.
Sorry, I was muted. Okay, so thank you. Judges, what questions do we have for Janet?
I wish we could do this in person, because the baked goods look really good. I was starting to reach for my screen for a sample. But my question is, are you a bakery or are you a gift shop?
We are a gift shop. We are legitimately a gift shop. We are baking out of our home and using the cottage food law in order to provide baked goods in the shop. So we have a separate door. We have a separate side room, and that's where the baked goods are kept for sale. We've moved any food items over into that side, and it had its own entrance. So during COVID, we could have curbside pickup just through that door, and we kept everything else shut down.
Is this something that grew out of COVID, or is it something that you were doing before?
It was something that was in our original business plan to eventually do a cafe bake shop in addition to the gift shop. And it was also in the original works when this building was built 20 years ago by the owner who passed away 10 years ago. His idea was to eventually have something like that, which is why the extra spaces were kind of there. They never got that far. We kind of adopted that dream and had thought that we would do it as well, but we didn't want to put the money into renovating anything or equipment until we saw how much demand there would actually be for it. And so starting very gradually, I started with the cinnamon rolls and I was giving them away for free the first winter just to see if they were good enough for people to pay for and whether they liked them. I raised 7 kids and baked a lot, but I never baked commercially. So this has been kind of a neat thing. But yes, the expansion certainly grew out of COVID, but the community had been asking for a bakery here even before we bought the shop. They were asking the previous owner if that was a potential.
So are you going to be moving the equipment and everything to the shop, and you're going to be baking from the shop, or are you still going to be having everything at home and transporting?
I think that will depend on what the health regulations say. We have room for it here, and it could be here if we are able to get approved for it. Otherwise, it will be at our home, and we'll continue on the way that we are. We'll just have better capacity.
Janet, I just a lot of respect for you getting through COVID, and sounds like you're just a really hard worker along with your husband. So got always a lot of applause for small business owners. What I guess one thing I look at is it sounds like you're already burning the candle at both ends pretty hard. Do you have I'm a little concerned about. Not concerned. I'm concerned for you about scaling up further and what that does for you personally, for your business. And can you tell us, what are your thoughts on it, thinking that through and growing your business and how to adapt everything to that, your life, plus possible employees, et cetera. Can you talk a little bit about that quick?
Sure, absolutely. The scaling up, I think, with the equipment, and I didn't get a chance to even talk about that because I got long-winded, but the oven, if it were able to handle bigger capacity, it would cut down on the amount of hours. What happens for me is I made 10 loaves of sourdough last week, and we do special orders. So one lady ordered 5 loaves, and I can only bake 1 loaf at a time. I'm kind of jealous of Ashley because she can do 2 loaves at a time, and I can only do 1. And so it's 40 minutes per loaf in that oven, and it took 6 hours of oven time. Now that wasn't stressful on me per se. A lot of it is sitting and waiting for the oven space to open up so you can get the next batch in. So that's where that long time, that 17 hours really drags out, because you've got this, you're bumping into yourself, because there's just no way to scale it up and get it done in a more efficient way like you could with a commercial equipment. So
gotcha.
I'm actually looking at this as freeing up my time a little bit on those days when I do that, if I were able to do it more efficiently.
Thank you for that.
Janet, in terms of profitability in the bakery side, obviously you've probably seen that you don't have the markup in bakery products that you would, say, on the gift side. How have you gone about establishing your retails on that kind of thing? And
that's a great question. And actually what was the big eye-opener for us was that if there is a middleman with baked goods, your markup is not enough to really be profitable. But because we're direct selling, there is no middleman here. So I buy the raw ingredients, I get them, in as big a bulk as I can. I get 50 pounds of flour at a time. And because I'm doing it myself, the markup is actually pretty good. It's not bad, and I don't have wastage. So if you've got to throw a lot of stuff away, that's going to eat into your profit too. But we started doing pre-orders. So what I do is I go ahead and post on Facebook on Wednesday what I'm going to make for the weekend. And then in the comment section, everybody orders. And then I bake according to order. So there's no leftover. There's enough left over that you could walk in and get a couple of donuts or so, but there's not a ton left over. And so that way our profitability is actually pretty good. So much like Ashley does with the sourdough, the ingredients for sourdough is just flour and water. It's very inexpensive to make. It's the time of the fermenting, which is, again, not a hands-on, it's a more hands-off thing. But if you sell it for $5 a loaf and you've got 60 cents into the product, plus your baking time, that's a great markup. So.
All right, I think that's the end of the time for Q&A. So thank you, Janet. All right, it is time for our final entrepreneur of the afternoon. So next up, we will have Ron, who lives on the Oceana County side of Hesperia and is the new owner of Elsie's Ice Cream in Fremont. Okay, Ron, your time will start when you are, when you're all set or when you're ready, and then Jillian will say time when your time is up. So when you need me to advance to the next slide, just go ahead and let me know.
Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for the opportunity to be able to present our idea. Well, it's a little large there. Can you resize that? I don't know if it seems to only be a portion of the slides, and I'm a little concerned about.
The rest of them, I think, are okay. It's just the first and last one that look like they're a little bit like that, but that's how it came over to me.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry for the delay there. So thank you again. Thank you for the idea, for allowing us to pitch our idea. Next slide. A quick introduction. Elsie's Ice Cream is looking to expand its indoor service area by adding an old-fashioned soda counter. This will provide more seating and table service, allowing us to expand our ice cream and food selections and become a place for kids, teens, families, even seniors, to spend time making memories. Next. Little about us. My wife Allison and I moved up to Hesperia from Chicago a few years ago and are enjoying the small town living on McLaren Lake, in fact. By day, I work remotely as a VP of technology at a printing company in Illinois. And by early evening, you'll find me at Elsie's with the hat on, the guy with the hat, scooping ice cream. As a lifelong connoisseur of ice cream, it's the perfect job for me, no doubt. I feel like I was made for this. By happenstance, we drove past Elsie's in January, which we were frequented as customers. Noticed it was for sale. And after speaking with the owner, we decided to move forward with the purchase and have been learning the ins and outs of the ice cream business ever since. Lots of help from the great team of employees since we purchased it. Next. So we're very engaged in the community. Even though our opening was delayed because of COVID, we decided through social media to begin a few programs. A reading program, which is one of the very successful programs we have, just showing a little bookmark here, which allowed for the children to read while at home and be able to turn in a completed bookmark to get some free ice cream. We also recently teamed with the Newaygo Great Start Books Available program, and we're turning ourselves into a free library here as well. We introduced a scavenger hunt, a couple of tokens here, the old wooden nickels. I love the concept. We hid those all around the community. Folks spent day and night looking for them, and we had a couple of lucky families win some larger scale prizes like free milkshake programs, and everyone else who found them got some money off of some ice cream. We've also increased our menu offering, allowing for dairy-free, vegan, and sugar-free options based on community requests. We've introduced discounts, 10% off for seniors and teachers, free ice cream for on-duty first responders. Thank you very much. Free ice cream all day, every day for veterans and active duty military. Introduced a birthday club. Come on in on your birthday or half birthday for the winter birthdays and enjoy some free ice cream. And our community engagement. We are hosting the Newaygo Commission on Aging field trip coming up in July. We participated in the Ride United Newaygo County ride, and we also offered some discounts there. And we hosted the Bethany Christian Family Adoption Night Out. Next, please. Employment, we currently pay $12 an hour plus tips, which is the highest base rate for food service in the area. We currently hire 6 local high school and college students, started with 2 in May and expanded quickly. Our 2021 employment goals are to hire 3 additional employees and engage with the Empowerment Network of Fremont to additionally hire 1 to 2 differently abled employees, bringing diversity and additional values to Elsie's and the community. Next. Here's the concept. The problem, unutilized space. The idea is to turn that utilized space into seating, additional seating, approximately 12 to 20 additional seats. The bar will provide space for freezers, additional equipment behind the bar, additional menu offerings, dedicated kitchen staff, which will expand our staff. Additional indoor seating will allow us to open earlier in the spring. They open later in the fall. HVAC systems to help stay open year-round. Adding a soda fountain creates fun gathering for families, tweens, and seniors. Fremont needs more spaces like that. We would love to participate in that. Options for events, bringing 60s night paint parties, things like that would be a lot of fun at Elsie's. No other soda fountains in the area. Closest one is in Montague and one in Baldwin. And in adding a soda fountain brings visitors to Fremont. We think the novelty will bring people to Fremont. Next, please. A couple of examples. Next.
Time.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ron. Okay, judges, what questions do we have for Ron?
So Ron, is the place currently just seasonal? So it's not open year round?
Correct. Right now, our intention is to be open approximately 7 to 9 months throughout the year, weather permitting. But the idea of expanding with the soda bar internally inside would allow us to be open potentially 9 to 12 months out of the year.
Ron, you've got a really neat Facebook page. I noticed you've got excellent photos. You do a really great job of advertising your product. Do you see the use of social media expanding, as you move from, say, a seasonal to a year-round soda fountain type?
Yes,
operation?
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. We believe social media is a great way to market in the area. Coming from Chicago area into Hesperia and Fremont areas, we recognize how Facebook is a center point for the community, and we intend to take full advantage of that.
Hey, Ron, this is Rich. What do you feel like as far as, it sounds like you treat your employees very well, which is appreciated, I'm sure. Percentage-wise of growth from where you are now and your employees, how much do you see your maybe your revenue growing percentage-wise as a result of the soda fountain?
Well, it's a good question, and it's all speculation at this point. But
Sure.
We believe that that our revenue will double from moving from seasonal into full 12 months. Also, we by expanding our capacity, every day has been profitable for us, which is very good. And the idea is, more of the same, right? And so we have a great product. Locally sold, Country Dairy, Hudsonville products. And we know that if we can accommodate more folks, we know that we can expand on that growth.
How do you know you're profitable?
Sorry?
How do you know that you're profitable?
I am a numbers guy, and I watch my labor, I watch my product. I am always interested in supply chain economics, but product and quality matters most, right? I'll pay more. I'm a big shop local guy, right? But the bottom line matters. And I watch it. I watch it like a hawk.
Good. Some entrepreneurs can be very creative, but sometimes they don't have the business background or the numbers to justify what they're doing. But I'm glad to hear the numbers guy. Good for you.
Yeah, my wife is the visionary and I'm the integrator.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Ron? All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ron. Man, those were some really awesome ideas. You judges have your work cut out for you. So now the judges are going to leave this Zoom meeting and they're going to go to the deliberation Zoom room with Travis. So good luck, judges. We will see you in 20 minutes. Okay, and so while we're waiting for the judges to come back, we are going to hear a few words from our sponsor, or from our sponsors. And so don't forget, if you have questions for the entrepreneurs and you want to participate in that Q&A, go ahead and enter those questions now into the chat to Jody, and then we'll do that after we hear from our sponsors. So here we go.
Hello, Pitch North participants. My name is Rich Houdeman, Community Affairs Manager with Consumers Energy. We are excited to support entrepreneurs like you. Each day, we are safely delivering the energy you need to create and innovate. And we are working hard to make sure that that energy is cleaner and more efficient than ever before. Like you, we are also committed to Michigan's prosperity. That is why our foundation gave $2 million for small businesses impacted by COVID-19. We're here to help. Special thanks to The Right Place, Inc. for hosting this competition this evening, and good luck to the participants.
Hi, I'm Carla Roberts, President and CEO of Fremont Area Community Foundation. It's no secret that we are committed to supporting local nonprofit organizations. But several years ago, we also started the process of building a stronger entrepreneurial ecosystem in Newaygo County. We believe the success of our local economy depends on creating an environment where innovative people and organizations have the tools to be successful. That's why the Community Foundation engages in strategic grant making, community leadership, and supporting exciting events like the one we are all attending today.
The best place in Newaygo County to do your banking is in a bank. Credit unions are member-owned, not-for-profit cooperative financial institutions. Individuals and businesses are eligible for membership with Gerber FCU if you live, work, worship, volunteer, or attend school in Newaygo County or certain townships in Muskegon and Oceana counties. Please refer to www.gerberfcu.com/youbelong. Our mission is to improve the financial well-being of each member through superior member service and quality products. Come talk with us.
From the River Country Chamber of Commerce of Newaygo County. Congratulations, Pitch North competitors. The River Country Chamber of Commerce of Newaygo County is made up of Newaygo, White Cloud, Croton Hardy, and Grant businesses, as well as businesses from the surrounding area. We are an integrated chamber and welcome any and all businesses that are doing business in Newaygo County. So I just wanted to say congratulations again and good luck.
I'm Michelle Comstock, President and CEO of Shelby State Bank. And I first want to say congratulations to all of you that have submitted your pitches for the Pitch North project. Congratulations on that, and I wish you all the best of luck. To mention a couple things about Shelby State Bank, we are proud to be one of the sponsors of this event. We are a locally owned and operated community bank. We have offices in Newaygo County as well as Oceana County. And we're here to serve all your traditional banking needs, as well as we also have insurance services and investment services. So we can handle all your financial needs and look forward to doing that with the local, your local offices, local decision-making, and we're here to serve. So thank you for what you do, and congratulations and the best of luck.
And now we will have a few words from our sponsor, West Shore Community College.
My name is Tom Hawley, and I'm the Executive Director of College Relations at West Shore Community College. Our home base is located near Ludington, Manistee, and Scottville, and we're very proud to be a sponsor of this pitch competition. In addition to offering a wide variety of educational programming, the college serves the area in a variety of ways. We have a thriving performing arts series, and community service and adult lifelong learning classes are also offered to meet the enrichment needs of area residents throughout the year. Our mission is to make the community a better place in which to live, learn, work, and prosper. And we work very closely with business and industry to provide a well-trained workforce in a variety of job skill areas. The nature of being an entrepreneur means that you fully embrace ambiguity and are comfortable with being challenged regularly, especially when you have to go to find funding for your business. But I know all of those in this competition will find success one way or another because of your unwavering belief and laser focus on delivering and persistence. Starting a new business is a riveting roller coaster ride of emotions with tremendous highs and at times some difficult lows. I know because I'm an owner of Jamesport Brewing Company in Ludington. But one thing that always helped me during those ups and downs was to connect with those who could offer me great advice and assistance. So don't ever be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Steve Jobs said, "My biggest motivation? Just keep on challenging myself. I see life almost like a long university education that I've never had. Every day, I'm learning something new." So keep on learning, and good luck to each of our entrepreneurs.
And last but not least, we are going to hear from Northern Initiatives. Alyssa Sangali is the new president and CEO, and we'll talk a little bit about how Northern Initiatives can help entrepreneurs across Michigan, as well as a program specific to Newaygo County. Alyssa?
Thanks, Julie. It is such an honor to be here with all of you today. Congratulations to each of you entrepreneurs who pitched. I know how much courage that takes, and you all did a fantastic job, especially in a virtual format. So thank you so much. Northern Initiatives is a CDFI. We are a nonprofit lender that lends to entrepreneurs, small businesses and startups, and that banks can't or won't lend to for a variety of reasons. Our lending is across the state of Michigan, and with the support of the Fremont Community Foundation, we're able to offer some special products, well, general lending, but also a special product as part of their COVID relief funds in Newaygo County. Melissa, the judge today, is the person you can talk to for more details on that. But it's an up to $20,000 loan with a 10-year term and 6 months of interest-only payments in the beginning. We also offer all of our customers our technical assistance portal and blended learning platform and support with our coaches. That's called Initiate. And through a new partnership with the MEDC, we're expanding Initiate access to our Main Street communities. So we would be pleased to support you with technical assistance as well to help your businesses pivot during this challenging time. Thanks, and I look forward to getting to meet each of you personally when we can gather in person.
Thanks, Alyssa. Okay, so I would like to take a few seconds here to quickly reflect on 2019. We had 20 entrepreneurs engaged in the process in 2019, and our finalists from last year's event have made great strides in their businesses. And I'd like to share just a few words from our third place winner, Cami Hollinger.
And I am the owner of Pretty Pop-Ups, and we do camper rentals. I usually buy used ones that are a little bit older, maybe need a little bit of work, and then we turn around and paint them, renovate them, give them a fun theme, and then we rent them out. Our goal is to be affordable. We started the business because we were looking for camper rentals for family members. They weren't able to find affordable campers, and so I thought, well, we can do that. And I found a blog that someone had started where they did camper renovations and remodels and realized I can do this. This is something I can do. I'm not usually creative, but it was something that I thought, I'll give it a try at least, and it's gone pretty well. Right now we have 2 campers. We used the money from Pitch North last year to buy a new camper that needed a lot of work. It was basically just the campus, the pop-up camper, and they're also called tent campers. And part of their setup is they use a canvas. Well, those go bad after a while. They deteriorate in the weather and things like that. And The one that we bought from last year needed a brand new canvas. So we used the money from our winnings to purchase a new canvas. And the camper is going to be the American Adventure. We're decorating it in red, white, and blue. And so it's almost finished. We got the new canvas on. It's been painted. The flooring is in. I'm waiting on a few more accessories to decorate it. And then we have to, we're going to recoat the roof with some rubber coating, and it should be ready to go this year. So right now we have 2 campers. We had 3. We just sold one of them because we're going to put that money into a hybrid camper. Those have bathrooms, things like air conditioning, larger refrigerators. They still kind of have the canvas ends. They're like a regular camper in the middle, and then the ends pop out. So they're still kind of a pop-up type camper. They're just going to have a few more amenities. People that have rented from us have told us that's kind of what they're looking for, especially because weather can be kind of hit or miss in Michigan. So to have things like a heater or an air conditioner can make the camping experience a little more luxury rather than just sleeping out in a tent. So that's where we're kind of looking to move from here. The virus kind of put things on hold. We were really hoping for a really great Memorial Day weekend. Unfortunately, the campgrounds weren't open early enough for that to happen. We do have a couple of bookings on the books for this summer, so hopefully things will pick up and improve and we can continue growing the business. So I'm pretty excited about what's to come.
Okay, so with that, we have about 10 minutes or so until the judges return, so time for some Q&A. Jody, take it away.
Okay, before we get started with Q&A, I have unmuted the finalists so they can easily answer your questions. And if you had a question, I may call on you to ask that, so be prepared for that. But before we get started, I just want to do a toast. So those of you who can, do a toast with me. I want to toast Julie for, really pulling off this event so well, especially with the switch up of the format. I don't want to jinx it, but knock on wood, it's so far so good. So congratulations to Julie for her 2nd year of this event. We appreciate this offering to our 3 counties. I also want to do kind of like a little Zoom applause for our sponsors. You know how you always see these muted applause on Zoom? I want to do that for our great sponsors who made this possible and who made the additional prize winnings possible. So especially for your finalists. And then especially to all of you, all 5 of the finalists, you are all winners. Not just because you're all taking home some kind of check today, but because you all did an awesome job and you all have these amazing ideas for our communities, and we're so grateful for your participation and your ideas and your commitment to Lake and Oceana and Newaygo counties. So thank you. We do have a couple of questions from the chat and a couple of comments that I do want to address. I know it was put out there that it would have been helpful to have a 30-second warning for the finalists. And so I apologize to those of you that didn't get all the way through. Switching this to virtual, we're still learning with that. And I will say, even last year in person, even when we had a bell and a sign and all these things, people get so excited at talking about their ideas that they go long anyway. So, the more you practice in time, for future ones, I guess that's all I could say on that one. There were a couple of questions or maybe more concerns regarding cottage law for the bakeries. I guess kind of just pointing out to the finalists that have food that are using cottage law, that how have you planned for that? I guess it would be the 2 bakeries. How are you planning for that as you look at moving into retail with cottage law not necessarily being allowed in a retail space? And are you working with some of our partners as far as your health departments, Department of Ag, even our Small Business Development Center, and preparing for that? Because you had some long range plans of brick and mortar. do either of you want to touch on that real quickly, or?
I'll go first. So if we go brick and mortar, we would then switch to commercial for sure. And we've actually considered, we've tried to figure out how we could go about actually retrofitting our home so that we can have like a small commercial kitchen in our home too. And I honestly, I'm not working with any of the like health departments, so I really need to get a hold of to see what it would take. I know I've heard like great reviews about them, like that they're super helpful and really kind to work with. And so I just need to do that. But we've been kind of in limbo because we've talked about, do we really want it in our home, or do we want to like put a small building on our property, or just wait it out and then go brick and mortar in town? Because that would really be like the best option for the commercial kitchen, really, for traffic and stuff. So then, but as of right now, we're just, because if we get licensed for sure, it opens up so many more products that we can do and so much creativity. And so that would definitely be something that we would consider in the future.
Okay, did you want to speak to that at all, Janet? Or
Yeah, I actually talked to someone who has a commercial, like a Department of Agriculture approved kitchen in her home, and then I also checked on the Department of Ag, and I talked to the health department, and the situation is up to a certain amount of sales. So if it's under $25,000 worth of sales of your baked goods in a year, then you're okay to do that. But either way, you should have your labeling, you should have, all of your allergen ingredients, and your sticker needs to say that this has not been inspected by the FDA, and so that it's been prepared in the home kitchen, just as a disclosure to the, to the people so that they know. We have not gotten anywhere near that level yet, although we are doing really huge numbers compared to what I thought we would do for just baked goods. But we're not anywhere near the 25,000 mark at this point. And when I talked to the health department, they said if your primary business is 75% something else and it's only about 25% baked goods, that's not your primary business and you're fine. As long as it's not a temperature sensitive situation where you have to have it chilled, as long as there's not a danger of spoilage and someone getting sick, they were fine with it. But it does need to be prepared in a home kitchen where you live as a full-time resident, not a seasonal residence. That's their criteria, is that for cottage law, it needs to be done in your home that way. Unless you're, like Ashley said, if you're moving commercial, then it's a different ball of wax. So I believe that we're fine just the way we are.
Great, I'm glad to hear you're working with various partners and have that on your radar. So I'll invite Katrina Higgins, or Alexis. Is it Katrina or Alexis? You had a question for Ashley about, I'll let you ask the question if you want, otherwise I can.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was intentional. My question is, during COVID, was she able to still serve her community? And in any other situation that would arise, would she still be able to continue to serve them? That's all my question was.
Okay, so
I'm assuming this is for the bakeries as well, right?
Correct.
Okay. So yes, actually I saw a huge growth during COVID because everybody wanted to support local during that time. And I actually, because of my limited capacity again, I was not able to serve everybody that wanted to be able to be served. And so with the growth, if we were to get the new oven and the new baking equipment, we could definitely fulfill that need. So yes, we survived COVID very well. We actually did better than we ever have. And I foresee only positive things coming from other crises too, hopefully. It's all about the community, and we did really good at community building. And so I don't see any other crises being a hindrance at this moment.
And I know we heard a lot from Janet about how it actually sparked this expansion for you. What about some of the other finalists? And we actually heard the same from Amber, that it's been, you know, it's increased your business. What about Paul or Ron? Do you have any? Did this pandemic give you any new ideas or some good tweaks to your business plan that you maybe wouldn't have done otherwise, or other effects? Paul or Ron?
Business was it really improved business. Like I said in my speech, I was able to match my last year's flower sales in just 3 weeks, and I was actually able to sell out about 3 or 4 weeks earlier than I normally do. So it was really it helped quite a bit. Because everyone wanted to buy plants and vegetables. Like gardening was a big thing. So, you know, I grow my own plants, my own vegetables, and they just went super fast. I had to plant numerous times over and over again. And people are still asking me for plants. And I was like, it's too late.
For us at Elsie's, we were concerned that without having the inside table service, that it would be detrimental to the business. But what we did, we have window service, which worked out very well. And so we had some banners and signs made that just said, you know, Elsie's cares, please observe social distancing. And we put a couple of markers on the ground outside. And everyone's been terrific with that. And people have been able to come up and fully enjoy ice cream, which is my passion, of course. And, you know, be able to just enjoy it without risk of the spread, and it hasn't diminished our business. So it's been very exciting and very relieving that it's worked out as well as it has.
Great. I had another question for you, Ron. So talk to us a little bit more about the benefits you're seeing from being so engaged with your community, with your many different programs. I mean, how is that carrying over profit-wise?
Well, it's too soon to tell, but it feels good. And we're seeing from the responses in our social media interactions, we're seeing very positive responses. For instance, when we took over the business, it was kind of rated at a 3.5 star, and we're up to 4.7 now, I believe. And so we believe that that interaction with the community is paying back orders of magnitude more than we had expected. We do it because it's fun. My wife is very big on education, and so she wants to be able to introduce these concepts. And we're not doing it for the return as much as we're doing it to try to give back to the community. But it's working out very well.
Great. Well, speaking of education, I wanted to hear a little bit more from Amber about the conference that you're planning for Oceana, and how, I guess, a couple of things. You know, are you using the different community resources and partners available to put that on, myself included? We need to connect. And also, how do you see what, you know, conferences are getting canceled left and right with COVID, and how are you going to adapt for that?
Yeah, so what we're doing this summer is a virtual conference. And so we're focusing this summer on just building that virtual community and trying it out. And thankfully, I feel like people are very understanding, and we are adapting to a virtual landscape. And so, of course, first choice will be an in-person conference. But I think, you know, like this event and the conference we're doing in August, we just have to have that be in our mindset that this could be the new normal, and to make sure that we're prepared for that.
Great, great. Let me see if it looks like our judges are about to come back. I just wanted to kind of end our questions with, if each of you might have one quick thing of advice for, you know, we plan to do this again in 2021. And I don't know, I think we all probably see a gap or a needed solution in our communities that we'd love to see a local entrepreneur come in and step in, like yourselves. What's a quick bit of advice you might have for someone that might be in the audience that's thinking, I need to submit my idea next year, or I need to start working on my business plan? I'll start with Paul is the first one I see. So Paul, throwing you under the bus. But
You're gonna have to repeat that question for me. I had some technical problems.
do you have like a quick couple of words of advice, or something from your experience of someone who, like, let's say I'm considering starting a small business in a rural area. What do you want to say to me?
I would tell you that you have to be a very motivated person. You have to be able to work harder than you ever worked your whole life, and you got to expect not to make a lot of money doing it all the time. For example, a lot of times I think I put 60, 70 hours a week in my farm sometimes, and sometimes I think I might make $3 to $4 an hour or sometimes. So, when you work that hard, it's more of a labor of love. So just expect to maybe profits come a little bit later, and so you have to work hard and not expect a lot of money to start.
Okay, great. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next. Kind of piggybacking off from what he said, perseverance is definitely like, there will be many times you want to give up, many times, but just taking the next right action is like the best possible solution, even when you don't want to. If you keep doing the actions that it takes to go places, you'll get there eventually, and it is going to be a lot of work, like he said, but it's just up to you if it's worth it or not. And so I would just say perseverance in general is needed.
All right.
I'll go next.
Great.
I think for me, it's been noticing the small businesses that I admire and what they do well. If anybody's been to Hart, you might have been to La Probadita, which is this teeny Mexican restaurant that, really needs a makeover and could really use a grant. But if you have their tacos, like, you get it. And there's businesses like that and others in our area that inspire me and make me realize that when you can deliver an amazing product, you will have, brand loyalty from people for life. And so just noticing, those businesses around me, talking to them, seeing what they do well, and learning from other business owners' experiences.
Great. Janet, you want to go next?
Yeah, I would say find your passion, do what you love to do, and then see if there's a market for it, and then be very flexible and listen. And when your customers ask you for something, listen and try to deliver what they're telling you they need. People are pretty forthcoming with, gosh, can you do this? And a lot of people will just say, oh, no, that's not what I do. That's not my thing. I wasn't a baker, but boy, people wanted baked goods and they were willing to pay for it. And now I'm a baker. So you can reinvent yourself a million times over. We all have done it. And that's how you keep on popping back up to the surface again. You can't stay down too long if you can find a way to tread water and keep swimming.
Great.
It's so much good advice, right? I mean, everyone, seriously. But to piggyback on that, right? Find your passion, and there's room. There is room for you in business. Do it. To quote Steve Jobs, stop living someone else's dream and start living your own.
Great. That's an awesome way to wrap up. And I think our judges are back, so I'm going to turn it back over to Julie.
All right, thanks, Jody, and thanks everyone for all of those great questions. Okay, so our judges are back. I'm really nervous and excited to figure out who is getting what prize, but everybody again is receiving some kind of a monetary prize today, so everyone is a winner. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to our signature sponsor, Consumers Energy, as they will have the honor of announcing each finalist as I present sort of a virtual check. So Rich, go ahead and take it away.
Well, just first of all, the contestants did a wonderful job. We had a really great dialogue, and we were really, we had a lot of great discussion, and we just want to say thanks to the contestants, and we were pretty aligned on how we came in. So we're feeling really good about that. So without further ado, placing fifth with a $500 prize, this award will go to Janet Libzinski of Up North Gift Company in Newaygo County. Congratulations. Good job. That's exciting. Okay, and walking away with $800 in fourth place is Ashley Tittman with Ashley Marie Farm and Bakery in Newaygo County. Congratulations. Great. Rounding out the top three, we have Paul Avery with Tiki Hut Farm Market.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that will be a $1,500 prize.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. And the second place winner receiving a $2,500 check is, let's see, we have Ron Mackey with Elsie's Ice Cream in Newaygo County.
Thank you so much.
$2,500 check. So thank you very much for your great presentation, Paul. Or Ron, sorry. And in first place, receiving $4,000, and is Amber Hallowell with Hearth Magic, Oceana County, for $4,000. So great job and congratulations on your evening.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Yep. So, you know, on behalf of all the sponsors, and we just can't say thanks to the judges. And Julie Burrell, Travis did a great job, and Right Place and Jody, Northern Initiatives. We really appreciate everybody putting this together so we could support our local entrepreneurs. And we're really excited for all the work you do and the work that you're going to do. So thanks for that. And Julie, I'll give it back to you.
Thanks, Rich. Oh my gosh, congratulations, everyone. This has been such an awesome evening. I'm so excited that we were able to put this on and that COVID didn't stop us, just like it isn't stopping any of you guys. So I want to take a second and go back to our finalists. If any of you guys have any last words to share, I'll go ahead and let you do that right now. Does anybody have anything they want to say?
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciation and thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. It feels so amazing to have people believe in you. So thank you for putting this on. It's been amazing.
We are so excited that you guys all stepped out of your comfort zone to participate in this competition. So now it is up to us and our communities to support these entrepreneurs as they launch and grow their businesses. So take some time this summer for a Pitch North finalist tour. So as you can see on your screen right here, this happened to be an idea that a couple of the entrepreneurs mentioned when we were having a practice last week. So I put this map together with everyone's locations. And so I will email this to everyone who registered for Pitch North today. So you'll get it with everyone's locations and websites and all that good stuff. So take a second, take a drive, enjoy our beautiful West Michigan, and support these businesses. And I just wanted to take a quick second again to thank our sponsors and the Right Place for making this possible. Thanks everybody, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, nice job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats, everybody.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you.